Welcome to Rod Laver Arena. Sit back and relax and enjoy Australian Open 2023 light and sound show.
Iconic Australian pop duo, Bachelor Girl, featuring former Australian Open ball kid Tanya Doko and James Roche, are celebrating 25 years since debuting on the Australian music scene. Ahead of brand new music and live shows in 2023, we welcome them tonight to Rod Laver Arena, performing their double platinum selling debut hit, Buses and Trains. Joining us tonight in Rod Laver Arena are 7 of the original 9 women who 50 years ago made the brave and bold decision to break away from the governing body of women's tennis and form their own professional tour. Please give a huge round of applause to these trailblazing women. And now, delivering the Daphne Ackhurst Memorial Cup onto court, please welcome 2022 Australian Open Women's Singles Champion, Ashleigh Barty. If you are able, please be upstanding for the Australian National Anthem, to be performed by Stephanie Jones.
Gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Well, thank you, Stephanie Jones, who's starring as Mary Poppins. It opens tomorrow at Her Majesty's Theatre in Melbourne. Thank you very much, Stephanie. Once again, welcome to Rod Laver Arena. It is women's singles finals night, and it's great to have you along here tonight. What promises to be an incredible match between Elena Rybakina and Sabalenka. Can I please take this opportunity as the group opens to remind you to switch your phones to silent, and to please make sure that your flashes are switched off. We
It's a wonderful day here in Melbourne, and it is the women's singles final here at the Australian Open. The 22nd seed, Elena Rybakina, up against the 5th seed, Aryna Sabalenka. Played here on Rod Laver Arena, just moments away before they will go through the Walk of Champions. Incredible amount of tension and nerves. This is just underneath the stadium. Great pictures as the players are called for this final. My name's Josh Eagle, and it's a very warm welcome to former top 10 player Chanda Rubin. Chanda, there's got to be a lot of emotion, nerves from both players in this waiting room.
It's such a big moment. Obviously, Aryna Sabalenka, she's looking for her first major title. This is her first time getting to a major final. But Elena Rybakina, she's the Wimbledon champion. But I think there's always just a few nerves. There's always that little bit of tension. I mean, these are big titles, and what an achievement it would be for her to hold 2 of the major titles at the same time.
Great pictures there in the gym with her team. And as we see here, Aryna Sabalenka trying to get that first major under the belt. She's been to number 2 in the world. Best result, surprisingly, just a semi-final in a slam. So we know she's a better player than that.
Well, she's made the semifinals 3 other times, and you know, getting to the semis again here, it felt like a big step for Sabalenka to make it to her first final. Felt like a real achievement. Stayed calm under pressure, and this young woman, Rybakina, she looks like she stays pretty calm over the course of her matches. Don't see a lot of emotion from her, but she kind of admits to being nervous and just seems to handle the pressure so far when she's been on these big stages.
We know Rybakina, the Wimbledon champion, beating Ons Jabeur. Sabalenka in such sparkling form this Australian summer. Hasn't dropped a set all tournament. She won the lead-in event in Adelaide. Just needs one more performance to lift the trophy.
I think Sabalenka has been, you know, more of a surprise this fortnight because of the way she's played, you know, so calmly through different situations. She's played with more margin. She's played with more confidence. And when you combine that with the big hitting, you consider she's making more shots as well. That has been an incredible combination.
It's a new and improved Aryna Sabalenka. She's in great form, and she will take on the big hitting Elena Rybakina.
Sometimes I think, Josh, the waiting around is a bit of the worst. That's where the nerves build, the tension builds a little bit more. Both of these players ready to get out there and start swinging.
All right, so this is the Walk of Champions, where everyone who has lifted the trophy gets their name on the board, and in a couple of hours' time, one of these ladies will go down in history.
Time for the women's singles final on Rod Laver Arena. Please welcome world number 25, Elena Rybakina. Their opponent, world number 5, Aryna Sabalenka.
Well, both players getting a very good look at the Daphne Ackhurst Memorial Cup as they walk on to this fabulous Rod Laver Arena. It's a packed house tonight. Always an amazing event on the sporting calendar here in Australia. So as we take a look at the road through to the final, Rybakina in incredible form here, knocking out Ostapenko, Azarenka to get on through in the last few matches, and also knocking out Iga Swiatek. So we certainly know she's in good form.
Aryna, we have Scarlett doing the coin toss for us. And Elena, we have Scarlett doing the coin toss. First thing we'll do is the photo facing this way, please. Scarlett, you're in the middle. And Scarlett, come and join me for one more photo, just the two of you. Great job. All right, and we'll come back in. Very simple, we've got red for the towel, blue for the towel. Any questions? No? Let's turn around, and who would you like to ask? Asking Elena? What are you asking? AO or Ken Rosewell? AO is the call. It is Ken Rosewell. Serve. Thank you. Well done. Did you enjoy that?
So a confident call from Sabalenka, electing to serve, and it probably highlights the new improved serve we've seen this season.
And if you're a big server, you got to go with your big weapon, and it is an advantage when you can get out of the gate and hold serve and serve from that front position. Sabalenka certainly very confident in the weapon that is her serve. But so is this young woman, Elena Rybakina.
Yep, we know a lot about her as the Wimbledon champion, ranked 25 in the world, but didn't get the points for winning Wimbledon. Surprisingly, only has won 3 tournaments, and we know she's a lot better player than that. Her ranking, of course, Chanda, would have been way higher if those Wimbledon points were on.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part. It's still a Grand Slam trophy. It's still a Wimbledon title. But for Rybakina, she's had to continue to do it the hard way, to build points during the rest of the year. And with her result here, she's projected to move into the top 10, maybe move just inside if she's able to win this title.
Aryna Sabalenka, the 24-year-old from Minsk, currently ranked 5, has been as high as number 2. She's won 11 titles, and nearly all of those titles have come on a hard court, so she'll feel right at home here. Started the year brilliantly, winning in Adelaide, and has yet to drop a set here at the Australian Open. Chanda, when we take a look at the head-to-head, Sabalenka, it's a good lead, has won all 3 matches.
Yeah, it's been, a year or so since they last played, about, just over a year and a half there, 2021 Wimbledon. But all 3 of those meetings have gone 3 sets. Sabalenka was able to win the first set in each one, including that last one. But this has been a different Elena Rybakina. She is now a major champion. She has more confidence in her game, more belief in herself. And if the head-to-head is any indicator, this should be a really tight matchup.
All right, fortunately, we have Laura Robson. Laura is courtside for this. It's loud, it's all happening. Laura, can you even hear us with all this noise courtside?
Just about. The atmosphere is pumping in here. Everyone's excited for this one. It's going to be some great tennis. I have no idea who I'm calling, but I'm just looking forward to sitting in this best seat in the house, right courtside. Couldn't be better.
Well, let's take a look at Rybakina's road here. Well, it was comfortable early. Just had that tight one against Danielle Collins, last year's finalist, but from round 4 through, it's been nothing but superb tennis from Rybakina.
Yeah, I think that match against Danielle Collins, she had to fight and got it done in the third set. That gave her just that added confidence and was able to get a big win against the #1 seed, Iga Swiatek. That kind of stunned the draw for a moment, but then Rybakina just kept it going. So it will be a true test for Aryna Sabalenka with how confident Rybakina is right now in her game. Taking a look at Rybakina's team, her coach on the left, who has been very vocal during some of her previous matches.
That's right, Stefan Vukov, left of screen. And of course, we also
30
have
seconds.
on the right-hand side, we've got Azuz Sumic. And this is a good look at Aryna Sabalenka's team. Anton Dubrov. Right of screen is the coach. In the middle in the black, that's Jason Stacey, her physio. And Andre Vasilevsky, her hitting partner. So players just about set here. Taking a look at her road, it's been smooth sailing for Aryna Sabalenka. Probably the toughest one there would have been against Belinda Bencic.
Yeah, and that would have been the one she would not take for granted. And she had to work hard as well, Sabalenka did, against Magda Linette that first set. Linette, a surprise semi-finalist, really held her own. So Sabalenka, she's been tested a bit, even though she hasn't lost a set. We'll see if that's enough in this matchup.
Players about to begin.
Well, a moment of truth. Chanda, who you going with?
I mean, I wouldn't want to live on the difference between these two players right now, but I'm giving the slight edge to Sabalenka. Maybe this is her moment, the way she's been playing.
First set, Aryna Sabalenka
Right.
to serve.
Sabalenka
Ready,
to serve.
play. Love 15.
Some awkward laughter down here, including from Sabalenka.
$15 all.
And a wonderful response. That will boost the confidence. And Chanda, it's interesting, you look at all the numbers, we love our stats here, and she's dropped 10 Ks an hour on serve this year at the championship, so serving with purpose.
Yeah, I think giving herself a bit more margin, going more for placement as well.
How important is it to get off to a good start here for Sabalenka?
Very
30,
important
50.
because that allows her to settle in. Obviously serving first, she wants to hold serve and really show that, you know, she's ready to play and that she's in a good enough rhythm with one of her weapons. And Sabalenka going a little bit more for
40-50.
placement, getting a little more margin on the first serve. The second serve, she's using the kick serve a lot more. All of that allows her to relax just a little bit more and depend on that serve, especially under pressure.
Game.
Well, it's a dream start for the 5th seed. Aryna Sabalenka sending down an ace, 189
First game.
kilometers an hour. That's right up there with her very biggest of the tournament.
One also shows that she has stopped worrying so much about the double faults as well. She's made some adjustment with her, how she produces her serve slightly, and first point, double fault, didn't think twice about it.
Win predictor got Sabalenka at 58%, so they're favouring the higher ranked player. Rybakina coming out to serve.
Elena Rybakina to serve.
Well, the numbers are just simply awesome for Elena, all tournament long on serve. Incredible 51% of her serves are unreturned throughout this tournament.
And Elena spoke in the last match after she played Azarenka that the conditions were so different for her playing at night, and the first serve percentage dropped a lot because of it. She was just struggling to get the weight of shot on those lighter balls.
Russell Crowe in the house tonight. Australia's famous gladiator actor.
He's in the expensive seats.
Well, Bill Gates was there the last few nights, so the heavy hitters in town. That's the favoured serve, Chandler. Likes the big serve out wide on the ad court.
That gives her the most space to go up and out into the court. She's got great height, and she can hit down on that serve and create a sharp angle.
Cain. Rybakina.
Well, both girls have come out brilliantly. Good energy, looking calm and composed, and incredible serving accuracy.
Rybakina, she's got such a smooth motion on the serve. It just looks effortless. That maybe helps over the course of a long match.
Love.
Well, there was some lingering doubts, wasn't there, in the locker room or around the player area about whether Sabalenka would be able to come out and serve well in this final.
To be honest, I don't think it's going to really show up as an issue, if at all, until we get to the business end and the scoreline towards the end of the first set, and especially if eventually she's trying to close out the match. That is when you might start to see some errors come through.
40 love.
Yeah, so far this has been a serving clinic between the two of them.
Lent Fisser.
That was a bit of a kick, but it didn't move Rybakina enough, and that was right in her strike zone. Now Rybakina again looking unbothered there. She guesses right. Stays pretty calm there to flick that forehand. Another game point here for Sabalenka. talked a bit about how ready Rybakina has been for returns at the beginning of matches this fortnight, and she is definitely behind the ball, picking it up, doing something when she gets it squarely on her racket.
Well, from 40 love, this has quickly evaporated. This break point for Rybakina here.
I think that's just the pressure of the last couple of second serve returns, going really deep at her feet, pulling off that last serve before she finished the stroke.
That's a little wild. So we have the first break in this women's final. Elena Rybakina gets the early break. 2-1 first set.
Rybakina leads by 2-1.
Pretty impressive start here from 25th ranked player in the world. She's come out confident. She looks certain.
We talked about Rybakina having broken in 4 of her 6 matches, breaking the very first return game, and it's part of being ready for the ball, being ready to take advantage of opportunities, and getting off to a good start can give you that slight advantage, and Rybakina has it now. I'm gonna love those guys. Why haven't we seen them? I haven't seen them on the grounds.
I don't know that you need to do. You don't need to love those guys at all. They terrify me.
All tournament long, over nearly 900,000 people through the gates here.
Take a seat quickly. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it really is perfect conditions here in Melbourne. We've had wonderful weather over the last week. Just 22 degrees, so that's ideal. The roof is open and wonderful crowds all tournament long, over nearly 900,000 people through the gates here.
Take a seat quickly. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it really is perfect conditions here in Melbourne. We've had wonderful weather over the last week. Just 22 degrees, so that's ideal. The roof is open and it's a full house for this women's singles final here at the Australian Open. One of the best front runners we know in the women's game, Rybakina.
Yeah, she is quickly becoming a player who understands how to stretch a lead. Easier to do that when you've got big weapons as well.
Yeah.
30 love.
It's not easy to read the Rybakina serve as well. Gets a pretty consistent toss, can hit to different areas with a similar look. She is rolling now.
Fold.
Boy, did Sabalenka need that point, Laura.
Well, that's the one she needs to get to, the wide forehand to Rybakina. Just force her to go for the shot that she really feels uncomfortable on, this wide shot. You know that she likes to go cross-court on the forehand the majority of the time. And as soon as she's pushed wide, that's when she kind of ejects out of the point. She doesn't want to hang in there.
Well, what a start from Rybakina. Consolidates the break. Out of the gates quickly, 3-1.
Leads by 3 games to 1.
It's so important to get off to a good start, to start playing from your strengths, and Rybakina is doing that from the very first ball. The serve, she has been rocking on, and the returns just keeping that pressure on Sabalenka.
15 love.
It also just seemed like such a quick turnaround from Sabalenka being up 40-love in that service game. It turned quickly. So this game becomes even more important for Sabalenka to just slow things down more on her terms.
Love. Love.
That last Sabalenka service game just highlights the fact that you cannot relax in a match with big hitters who can turn points and games around with one swing. Gotta try to play every point completely.
Oh, wow.
Sabalenka.
Awesome ball striking from both players, but it's Rybakina in front. 3-2 with the break,
Rybakina
first
leads
set.
by 3 games to 2.
Didn't Sabalenka just look more ready for that last ball, that last backhand?
I'm impressed with, you know, the quality we've got at the start of this match, but the composure, particularly from Rybakina, looks so comfortable. She's taking the ball early. It's a confident start.
It is. I mean, both players are serving very well. It's Rybakina with just a slight bit higher effectiveness behind her first serve. For Sabalenka, it's the second serve right now. When she throws that serve in, Rybakina is jumping all over it, and that's why Sabalenka got broken from 40-love. And it's one area she'll have to pay attention to. Not allow Rybakina to step in at will on those shots.
Please find your seats. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a packed house here on Rod Laver Arena. Of course, it's women's singles final here at the Australian Open. As we take a look at the early breaks here, Rybakina got her nose in front at 76%. When she gets a break, she converts it. Good power, that's her average pace on serve, 181 kilometres an hour.
Well, the problem is there's not really a pattern that Sabalenka can pick out at the moment, and across Rybakina's last couple of matches, there's not been an obvious play.
30 love.
We know she likes that wide one for sure, but she could just as easily hit the tee serve. So even if you're risking it by moving out, I feel like that's maybe leaving you a little open.
Rybakina just so good with that +1 shot, the first stroke after the return comes back.
And her backhand, Rybakina backhand is, that is a world-class shot.
Game.
Boy, oh boy, this is impressive serving. Rybakina going along beautifully. 4-2.
I mean, that's why you can't start picking a side on the serve so early on in the match. Maybe as we go along, if there's a bit more of an obvious pattern on big points, but I just feel like she's hitting all 4 corners with ease at the moment.
That time Rybakina able to step in and dictate off that forehand side. Cross court gives her the most space to comfortably hit into, and she went for it.
My feeling is that every third shot should be going to the forehand. Especially if the return is deep, at least go back to the forehand. You know, 9 times out of 10 you're going to get it back cross court, and you've at least got the chance to reset the point.
Second serve just starting to be a little problematic here.
Yeah, she's been feeling the pressure, Sabalenka. 1 of 6 when she has to go to the second serve, and it's causing her to overplay even more.
.30
Sabalenka seemed to get just a little fortunate there. She almost hit her way out of this point. That backhand from Rybakina, that is usually such a predictable shot, but it was a big point, and Sabalenka knew it.
Very impressive, those last couple of points, and boy did Sabalenka need it to stay in touch.
New balls, please.
Rybakina with a break.
Leads
4-3 first set.
There's been a couple of points where I felt that Elena has dropped the ball a little short in the court, and Sabalenka is just not expecting it. Sometimes when you're playing such a big hitter, you're anticipating that deep one constantly. So when you do get the chance to move up the court a little more and cut off the angle, you're already, that's half a step behind because you're expecting it coming onto your racket. And I just feel like maybe that's something for her to be a little aware of as the match goes on, knowing when to maybe come in inside the baseline, take control of the point.
Well, if you can't get a ticket into the stadium. You can certainly check out the action around the grounds. It's just a wonderful venue.
Those who are joining us,
you can watch it on the big screens.
Thank you.
Doesn't get any better than Rod Laver Arena women's final. We're off to a good start. Elena Rybakina with an early break has played with confidence and will be serving at 4-3 with the new balls.
That is incredible hitting from Aryna Sabalenka. Rybakina, she has only lost 3 points on serve. That was the third one, and it had to be an incredible backhand. Just glancing off the line for Sabalenka to take control.
Love 30.
Laura mentioned that Rybakina talked about the heavier conditions at night. Said she expected it to be the same in tonight's match. So she at least had a chance to get used to it. But right now, first bit of pressure on her serve.
That's her least favorite shot, the forehand down the line.
Love.
Well,
40.
until this game, first serves unreturned. Rybakina are at an incredible 80%, Sabalenka 41%, but at this game, Sabalenka has come out and has returned magnificently. 3 break points.
I think it's much warmer tonight than it was for Rybakina's semi-final. She's getting a lot of extra pop on the serve. The conditions, it's much more humid. It's been a really hot day, so the court's still holding quite a bit of that heat.
Yeah, Sabalenka. It's a beautiful response from Aryna Sabalenka, and we're back on serve, 4-all.
4 games on.
That was fantastic ball striking, and we talked a lot about the winners off the Sabalenka forehand. That is the most dangerous shot off of a racket, but the backhand has held its own in some crucial moments, and that was certainly one of them. Sabalenka looked like she wasn't quite ready coming out of the serve. A little slow to catch up to that ball, and Rybakina again able to take advantage.
Deep.
At the end of that game, guys, it looked to me like Sabalenka took off I think it's a Whoop. I think she plays with a Whoop, which is like a heart rate monitor, tracks all your sort of recovery as the match goes on. But she took it off halfway through, and you can clearly see that tan line on her right hand.
Let's second set.
And maybe she's just thinking, look, it's the last one of the tournament. I don't need to know if I'm recovered or not. I don't care anymore.
Quite possibly, Laura, she had forgotten to take it off at the start of the match when she walked out and just realised mid-match that's what nerves can do.
Oh, this was a terrific second serve, though, and she needed it. Used every inch of the service box, getting a little extra side spin.
Let's first set.
Times tonight, it's been the pace of Rybakina. It's actually hurting Sabalenka in these rallies. Well, going big on the second.
If you think about Sabalenka's matches up to this stage, hasn't really played anybody who's hit the ball big. So this has been an adjustment tonight, catch up to the pace off of Rybakina's racket.
Game.
That's the fifth double fault of this first set. And Rybakina now in front 5-4 and a chance to close out the first set.
Rybakina leads by 5 games to 4.
Well, Laura, it's incredible, isn't it? 3.75 double faults per average per match at this year's championships, and she's already at 5.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And I think the first couple were due to a bit of nerves, a bit of stress. But I think that last one was because she's trying to go so big on the second serve, knowing that Rybakina's return is coming deep, but just getting caught with the wind, pushing her ball toss a bit further in front than she wanted to hit. And then from there, it's really hard to get the kick over the top of the ball when the ball's too far in front of you. But, you know, I think just as easily she could turn around and break back here. She's off the ground very much in this. It's just that serve that's making the difference.
So the 23-year-old Wimbledon champion coming out to serve. A chance to take the first set. The Australian Prime Minister in the house, Anthony Albanese, front and centre. left-hander. That first point is so big when you're trying to close out a set.
15 left.
Yeah, the heart rate's up, the pressure's on.
Yeah, it's such a pressure releaser to win those first couple of points, to play from ahead in the game. Just give yourself a little more breathing room. And Sabalenka playing to the Rybakina backhand there, and that seems to relax her a little bit more.
Why would you not be covering that one? This is my confusion down here. 3 set points, but why are you not making the move to cover the cross-court forehand?
Yeah, she's looked a little slow getting to a couple of those shots, Sabalenka, and it's 3 set points for Rybakina.
Gets off to a dream start. Elena Rybakina has wrapped up the first set in 34 minutes. 6 games to 4. The bathroom break, so short break here from Rybakina, and of course Sabalenka will follow for a change of clothes.
I think that was a, if you go, I go.
Could you hear, Laura, did Rybakina ask first, or was it Sabalenka? I mean, if I'm Rybakina, I want to keep this momentum going.
Yeah, I think it was almost simultaneously, to be honest. It may have been Rybakina. I mean, she was the first one off the court. She had some purpose in her step. So if you need to go.
Yeah, and look at some of these numbers from the first set. I mean, the serving percentage, great from both players. More winners for Sabalenka, but it was the double faults that hurt her, especially on some second serves. It allowed Rybakina to get on top of points and break a couple of times. That was huge. And Rybakina just played a very clean first set. Didn't do anything spectacular, but played those big points just a little bit better.
Yeah, the one stat that we don't see there is just 4 of 12 on second serve for Sabalenka. Needs to serve a lot better in this second set. Well, it was a confident start really from both players early in the set, but it was probably Rybakina, I believe, who just looked more comfortable on the big stage.
Yeah, she did. And, you know, really the serving, we talked about this a lot for Sabalenka. The second serve, that's been the most improved. But in the first set, she lost 8 of the 12 second serve points, and 5 of them were from double faults. So Rybakina only had to win 3 of those second serve points. That really changed the momentum a couple of times when Rybakina was able to get those 2 breaks. But how aggressive has Rybakina been playing? She has been terrific, staying so calm and poised. Backhand has been a big shot for her along with the serve, and she just looks like she's in such a good rhythm right now.
Laura, it's uncharted territory here in this Australian Open for Aryna Sabalenka. Hasn't dropped a set all tournament. How does she turn this around?
She's got to start reading the patterns of play a little bit better. I think there's an obvious maneuver to make on the forehand positioning, just to kind of take your regular split step a little further across to cover that Rybakina forehand cross. And obviously the serve is playing a huge part. She's got to lift the second serve points one percentage down at 33 at the moment, 4 out of 12 against such a good quality player. It's just not going to be enough to turn things around, but I have a lot of faith actually in Sabalenka. I feel like she's not really that flustered after the first set and knows that she was very much in it at times. Big chances here to start the second off.
And Chanda, as both players re-enter the court, is one set enough of a lead here for Rybakina?
Sabalenka is a player that can turn matches around. She's shown that, so this match still very much in the balance. But Rybakina, if she continues to play this way, she gives herself a great shot to be holding that trophy up. She has played so cleanly thus far.
Time.
On the left there, Steve Waugh, former Australian cricket captain, so plenty of big names in the house here. Bill Gates, Russell Crowe.
Second set.
What do we reckon? Are they being gifted the seats?
Don't think they can afford them, Laura.
$15 left.
I'd like to see some more adjustments with the placement of Sabalenka's serve as well. I think on this deuce side, she can afford to go a lot more for the first serve, slide her out wide, get that first serve percentage up a little, and then on the second, if she needs to, jam her in the body. How well does Rybakina play that block backhand return? It just looks so steady to me.
Sabalenka, she had that first serve percentage up midway through the first set, and it dropped towards the end of the set. Just feeling more pressure from Rybakina. And her kick serve, it's not having quite the effect with Rybakina's height and her comfort on that backhand side. And normally with the kick serve, Sabalenka gets a little bit more inside the court and she's able to push forward. Rybakina not allowing it at all. Gets another miss, another opportunity.
Bit of help from the net.
30-40.
Haven't seen many body serves from Sabalenka today. I like it.
And if you're Sabalenka, surely you're going to back yourself in a forehand to forehand rally.
That's a better serve. The slice to the Rybakina forehand.
Advantage.
It's also
Sabalenka.
a good serve on the ad side down the tee. If you can slide it a little more versus the top spin that Sabalenka hits normally.
That's a great response here from Sabalenka, down a couple of break points, but finds a way to hold. Excellent hitting and serving.
First game, second set.
Well, we know how well Rybakina has served all tournament. Let's just take a look at some of these unreturned. 67% of her serves unreturned, Chanda, and the red ones are the unreturned serve, and the location, just serving with brilliant accuracy tonight.
Yeah, she's getting the majority on the deuce side down the tee. That's the fastest serve, the quickest serve from Rybakina, and you know, she's been getting aces. She's also been mixing it up on the ad side as well, and that 67%, that's higher than her number coming into this match.
That's right. 51% prior to this match. Sabalenka down at 30%, so that's a huge difference.
And as you would expect, win predictor has shifted accordingly.
That's so classy. Just shows the confidence of Rybakina, the freedom.
Laura, you mentioned Sabalenka should be willing to get into the cross-court forehand battles, but here she had a real opportunity, went back to the backhand of Rybakina, paid the price.
It is confusing. I mean, some of these rallies, it's so obvious from the side what she could be doing a little differently, but it's just the heat at the moment, isn't it? She can't think straight right now.
Fold.
And that's the big weapon for Sabalenka, and she has not been deploying it as well as she has during her previous matches. That is the 4th winner. She normally is at a much higher number by now, but maybe she's just starting to find the range a little bit more here.
Finally, a bit of court coverage from Sabalenka there, knowing very good chance Rybakina was going to go for the forehand cross-court, covered it well. But this is really when you could start using the on-court coaching a little better. I haven't seen Sabalenka go to this towel box on my side of the court very often.
That is a terrific serve, and that's the go-to. That's the serve Rybakina
30 on.
loves to go to in a pinch. Sabalenka's got to start looking at, you know, trying to guess, maybe change position a little bit. Try to do something to turn this match around for herself.
Fold.
I think for Rybakina, it's just managing the moment here. Up a set, easy to get a little complacent. She's got to keep going after her shots the way she's been doing so beautifully.
That's a perfect strike, isn't it? Just times it.
Yes.
Rybakina had gone wide on the previous serve. Sabalenka moving that way and getting right behind it.
Chandy, you get the feeling, Sabalenka, when you're behind on the scoreboard, you're playing catch up and just sensing maybe just overplaying a little too much.
And Rybakina is just doing just what she needs to do, forcing Sabalenka to have to prove she can hit these shots consistently. Has not happened just yet.
Oh,
Game.
just incredible serving all night long. Yvonne Goolagong admiring the serve
One
here
game
of Rybakina, 1-1.
And at this point in the match, would you guys start covering that wide one on the ad side? It's been long enough, I think.
Well, the whole tennis world knows that's the best serve on that side. And Chandam, this is what nerves can do to a player.
It changes everything. And sometimes you just don't recognize what's going on. It's hard to see these things under pressure. But Rybakina, she's been getting a lot of Sabalenka serves back in play, more than Sabalenka has been used to this tournament. And it has rattled her a little bit. Ever since that first break of serve at 1-1 in the first set, it's been a little tougher for Sabalenka to play her way.
(30-15). On.
Sabalenka has had to hit majority forehands cross court because she's been on that side of the court. Majority of matches, she gets a lot more forehands where she can control the middle, go inside out. That is a preferred shot for her. Yeah, that shot right there. Just hasn't seen as many of them and almost didn't know what to do with it. That is normally her bread and butter.
That miss feels like she's missed because she doesn't want to go to the backhand, and so she's pulling off halfway through the shot, kind of just overthinking where to play.
Advantage.
Certainly needs a few free points right about now.
Sabalenka.
And when you are a hitter of the ball, the worst thing you can do is overthink. It just slows things down. Your arm, your shots aren't quite as fluid. This would be big if Sabalenka could get out of this game with the hold.
Game.
2 aces to hold serve. Much needed for Sabalenka. Down a set, but leads 2-1.
Sabalenka leads by
second set.
2 games to 1.
I think that's almost the hardest part, you know, playing against a player that you've played in the past, and now she's playing much better. You look at Sabalenka and her shot placement, not quite getting enough depth. 55% of the time that ball is in the middle quadrant of the court, right behind the service line. And that is allowing Rybakina to step in and dictate a little more often. Rybakina, conversely, almost 50% of the time, she's getting that ball deep, front of the baseline in that area in blue, 40% in that middle quadrant behind the service line. And it's been a good combination. Some of those balls have been angled more off court when they're a little shorter, but overall the depth has been what has caused problems for Sabalenka tonight.
Time. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Those rejoining us, please quickly find your seat. Thank you.
Laura, just courtside for this match. Have you noticed the difference, the lack of depth here from Sabalenka?
Absolutely, especially off that forehand side. She's trying to play it flat, keeping it low, but then a lot of the time it's landing just beyond the service line. It's just giving Rybakina the chance to open things up with her backhand side. So if she could just maybe add a little height, kind of go against her usual style of play and take a bit of pace off some of these forehands cross court, just stay in the rally a little longer, just trust herself. Perfection.
That's the rally you've been looking for, Laura, I can sense.
And it's so much easier to see it from the side, of course. In the heat of the moment, it is impossible to start thinking of tactics, where to play when you're under so much pressure. But just recognizing that is the error that's coming off Rybakina's forehand side a lot of the time.
Rybakina is confident when she's making that one down the line. And
15 on.
The average rally length for Sabalenka all tournament long has been 3.3. At the moment, it's down to 2.85. So there's a fair bit of time taken away from Sabalenka tonight. The rallies are short. She hasn't got the rhythm.
Well, we talked about Sabalenka's opponents up to this stage, and the biggest hitter would have been Shelby Rogers, who didn't hit as big consistently in that matchup. Maybe Donna Vekic behind it, but it's not really a comparison for the consistent power that Rybakina brings to the court. It feels a bit like Sabalenka's been playing catch up a little bit all night. At that point, really taking it to Rybakina, using the forehand, still getting the margin, but pushing her back to create a little more space.
Drops in, and we have a break point now for Sabalenka. Gone wide on a lot of these big serves on the ad court.
Yes.
Does it again.
I mean, that's almost a time to just stand wide and make Rybakina have to hit the serve somewhere else. Maybe when she tosses it, you can decide to move the other way, but do something a little different to try to get her thinking on that serve.
Advantage Sabalenka.
Sabalenka starting to find a level of consistency here. Winners and forced errors are going up. Unforced errors are staying fairly even.
Fold.
That's long.
Game
So we have
Sabalenka.
our first break in the second set. It's been a good response from Sabalenka.
Sabalenka leads by 3 games to 1.
Sabalenka starting to come through a couple of these longer rallies where she's really making a play. Shot selection's been better. She's opening things up to the backhand to then go for the cracker to Rybakina's wide forehand, getting exactly what she wants.
$15 left. $15 on.
That's a good move from Rybakina, just putting a little extra pressure on Sabalenka.
15-30.
Taking advantage of her court position just a little further inside the baseline.
That was really close. Rybakina was hanging around. She took a couple of extra
30
steps to her left just to cover that wide kick serve, was expecting it, and then leaned into this forehand return.
It seemed to drop a bit on her at the last minute, a little more than she was expecting.
That's such a smart serve. Into the body, that just stops Rybakina from having a big
40-30.
swing. Being so composed. Sabalenka, after dropping that first set, she's played brilliantly at the start of this second. Chandy, you just sense this game is so crucial for both players. A 4-1 lead or back on serve at 3-2.
It's a big swing for Sabalenka in particular, having lost that first set. She needs this momentum a little bit more.
Advantage Rybakina.
First double fault of this set for Sabalenka. Could not have come at a worse time.
I think she should be taking a little more time here between the points. She stepped up to the line awfully fast after what was a very tough double fault.
Oh, that's so good.
Had to respond and gets it perfectly.
Deuce.
That's just a ridiculous backhand from Sabalenka. No hesitation. Saw the ball, hit the ball.
I don't know how her players box is breathing right now. This is such small margins.
One of the things we've seen in Sabalenka's game throughout the years is even when she misses, she keeps swinging, she keeps going after it, and more times than not, she starts getting her shots to fall. That's what her ranking says.
Led for serve.
Been as high as 2 in the world, and one of the best players yet to have won a Grand Slam, to not have won. It's Rybakina pushing back, keeping the pressure on Sabalenka, just making it tough if she's going to hold serve.
How fine are these margins depending on the width that Sabalenka is able to get on that forehand cross? Just half a meter closer to the middle, and it's not enough.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is so composed. This is not an easy shot.
Sabalenka.
I think we all held our breath there.
I mean, the fact that she went for it and timed it perfectly, but such a pressure-filled moment, trying to hang on to her serve here.
Oh, that's just so brave from Sabalenka. A great response in this second set. Sabalenka with the lead, 4-1.
Sabalenka leads by 4 games to 1.
Sabalenka talked in her press conference after her semifinal match and said that she used to have a sports psychologist and just felt like she didn't need it anymore. Now she's her own psychologist and understands herself better and how to work through some of these moments, has her team to talk to, her family as well, but just knows more of what she needs to do out there. And we're certainly seeing a little more of that in her game over the last 2 weeks in particular.
I must say I was a little surprised when she did come out and say that. However, it's noticeable. Last year the issue was with the serve, and just technically you can see she's done a lot of work. The ball toss is not as high. The take back, it is more smooth. So if your technique's better, of course it'll hold up under pressure. But I'm really impressed with Sabalenka. Had to fight off a couple of break points early in that first service game of this second set, but she's got a tidy lead here. Aryna Sabalenka 4-1 up. Rybakina has taken the first 6-4, and it is a pretty picture here tonight on Rod Laver Arena.
Interesting in that changeover. Rybakina put a racket into the stringer. Whether she goes a little softer, tension drops perhaps.
15 left.
It's just important for Rybakina to hold serve here, to just keep things close. It's still just one break of serve, and she's had her looks on Sabalenka's serve. Get the sense, though, that Sabalenka is just relaxing more and more into this match. She started to find the range on her ground strokes on the forehand, and this softer angle really shows her thinking and seeing the entire court.
Shift with the return here. Rybakina, the first serve, it's unreturned. It's huge numbers, it's 63%, but when the ball is returned, when Sabalenka gets that return back in play, Rybakina only winning 20% of the points. So there's been a real shift in how well Sabalenka is starting to return in this second set.
$15.40.
Yeah, that is a big serve, getting up close to her fastest of the match. That first serve percentage of Rybakina has dropped a little bit here in this second set. She's got to keep that up.
Thank you.
How important is this just to try and keep it to one break for Rybakina if she can find a way out of trouble here?
Sabalenka is such a front runner, and she can swing out more freely when she's got a bigger lead. So it's very important for Rybakina to just try to keep this thing tight. One break, that is much more manageable.
Fold.
Rybakina was ready for the forehand. She took a step in that direction, anticipating that that was where Sabalenka was going. Allowed her to be a bit more aggressive and take control of that point.
Use. Let first.
The biggest difference for me is the
Sabalenka.
weight of shot these last few games from Sabalenka. She has really picked up the pace. Meanwhile, Rybakina is trying to get that extra bit of height over the net off the forehand side, but just playing into Sabalenka's hands where she's able to lean in, get the backhand that she wants.
Led first.
Oh, she missed that one, but did you guys see that return position from Sabalenka? She was creeping in, and it's not like Rybakina's got a slow second serve. Yes, it kicks up, but she is really trying to step in here.
Yeah, it's the danger of allowing Sabalenka to play with a big lead. She gets even more aggressive, hits out even more freely.
Advantage Rybakina.
Wow, that was fascinating. Rybakina hit that kick serve and then almost ran over to the backhand side, expecting that to go cross court. Have a look at this.
And not sure why she thought that ball was going cross court so surely, but completely misjudging it. Keeps coming right back, though, on serve.
Well, it's keeping her in this set.
Advantage Rybakina.
This first serve is the one thing that's keeping Elena in this second set.
It is her big weapon.
Game.
Well, that's got to feel huge
New balls, please.
for the 22nd seed. Just down the one break. Has the first set in the pocket, 6-4.
Sabalenka leads by 4 games to 2.
And it'll be new balls. And as Laura has alluded to, this is the average net clearance here for Rybakina. Set 1 on the forehand and the backhand, pretty similar, but on set 2, she's just trying to buy a little time. She's shaping it a little more, but that is allowing Sabalenka to get more aggressive.
Yeah, it's taken a little pace off of some of Rybakina's ground strokes. She's placing more of those balls in the court, and it's allowing Sabalenka to jump on top of anything a little bit shorter.
Love 15.
And the idea is to hit a little higher and that ball will go a little deeper, but she's got to keep some pace on it, Rybakina, as she did there. I also think on the Rybakina backhand, she's got to keep hitting out on that shot. It is also a weapon for her, that backhand side. She can use it to dictate more often. She just backed off slightly on that shot.
This backhand down the line, starting to do some damage here from Sabalenka.
30-15.
And she's mixing up the first serve a lot better in this set, recognizing that going mostly down the tee in set 1 was just not doing the job. So really Well done by Sabalenka to recognise the situation she was in.
Well, 3 or 4 times tonight, these great hands that we've seen from Sabalenka on the defense, just making Rybakina play that extra shot. Sends it into the stands. And Aryna Sabalenka in control of the second set. She leads 5 games to 2.
Sabalenka leads by 5 games to 2.
Well, Chandler, I've just been so impressed with how well Sabalenka has handled this second set. Just emotionally, mentally, didn't panic. Years before, that would have been very different, I believe, for Aryna Sabalenka.
We've been starting to see that kind of poise, additional poise in Sabalenka's game, you know, these 2 weeks when she's had tough first sets, she's gotten down a break, and she hasn't panicked, she hasn't started overhitting, she's just gotten down, made some adjustments, and it's why she hasn't dropped a set until tonight's match. And it's been Rybakina pressing the issue, really forcing Sabalenka to play better and better as this match has gone on, and right now Sabalenka's in a great rhythm. It's actually the backhand that's been more dangerous. Twice as many winners off of that side as the forehand.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please move to your seats with purpose. Thank you.
So packed house here on Rod Laver Arena, getting their money's worth tonight. Elena Rybakina played beautifully to win that first set, 6-4. But it's the 5th seed, Aryna Sabalenka, who has played so brilliantly in this second set and is just 1 game away from taking it to a decider.
Going into this match, I kind of thought it would be Rybakina winning the battle of the backhands and Sabalenka winning the battle of the forehands. It's kind of flipped a little bit. Sabalenka really believing in that backhand and going toe-to-toe there. Rybakina has got to be willing occasionally to take that forehand up the line. It's become a little bit predictable going cross court. That little bit of a change up certainly help.
Let person.
Now.
15-30.
It's been a big difference for me as well. The quickness of Sabalenka, her first step, getting behind some of these shots. A little bit slow in the first set, and that has improved tremendously.
growing in confidence. And it's Sabalenka with 2 set points.
15-40. $30-40.
194. Right up there with the biggest. 195 is the biggest of the tournament, and she owns that serve speed.
The Seagulls strike again.
And was it a big one, Laura?
Well, from the amount of birds up ahead, I'm assuming it was.
Brave shot from that position, down break point. That shot almost had to be a winner. Easy for it to tail back into the court, but Rybakina gets it to stay pretty true straight up the line. This really has been a high-quality match. Both players more winners than unforced errors, using their weapons, and this point had a little bit of everything, including a little finesse. Not many players could rush Rybakina this thoroughly, but Sabalenka, she's got big shots to do so, and she has found her consistency. Still trying to close out this set.
On the previous point, Rybakina actually was looking for the backhand of the third ball, almost played an inside-out backhand rather than going to the forehand side that she's starting to struggle with a bit more.
Game, Rybakina.
That's a big hold. To fight off set points, Rybakina. But it'll be Sabalenka. A chance to serve this second set out, take it to a third.
And we almost need a speed gun on the ground strokes at the moment. Both of them are absolutely ripping it. Some of the heaviest hitting I've seen all tournament.
Hasn't this serve worked so well in this second set? Not so much in the first set. She was just hitting a few too many double faults, but certainly has been able to execute better in this second set out wide.
Yeah, she was going for more topspin, more straight on serves with pace. That wasn't giving her much open court. A wide serve, especially on that deuce side, has allowed Sabalenka to open things up, give her more space to hit into. And that's got to feel pretty good for Rybakina. Outright winner on the forehand.
15 on.
Got Sabalenka guessing because she set up quickly and on balance, had her pick of direction. It's the wide serve again that just gives Sabalenka a little more space to hit into. She can slice that serve, come on the outside a little bit more, and it makes it a safer serve all around.
Not an easy shot to execute. The drop shot on a hard court.
Well, what
a time to bring up ace number 11. It's the favoured big serve down the tee. And it brings up set point number 3.
Oh,
2 in a row.
Second set, Sabalenka.
And Aryna Sabalenka wraps up the second set in style.
6 games to 3, 1 settle.
And in this women's final, we are going the distance. Well, it was a fabulous second set here from Sabalenka. Just in that first service game, she faced 2 break points and was able to get out of trouble. But from that moment on, Chanda, she was definitely the better player.
Yeah, it was definitely a bit of a momentum shift, almost like it woke Sabalenka up. She was able to hold and maintain her serve. And you look at the 7 aces to just 1 double fault. That was a big improvement from the first set. And the winners went up for Sabalenka, 21 to just 10 unforced errors, able to capitalize on the 1 break point. That was all she needed. And it was a tremendous effort from Sabalenka to adjust her game, to raise her level, started getting a few more forehands that she could step in on. But the backhand was also impressive for Sabalenka. She was able to hit some winners off that side in a couple of critical moments that took Rybakina by surprise. Came in a few times when she needed to, and overall just kept her foot on the gas.
Yeah, as we see some of these highlights, I was most impressed with her mental resilience. Really was a great response in that second set from Sabalenka.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The final set is about to begin. Please make your way to
the
your
Australian
seats.
Open women's singles final here on Rod Laver Arena will be a 1-set shootout. 22nd seed, Elena Rybakina took the first set. Sabalenka fought back strongly and has just wrapped up the second set.
There's still some people moving at the back of the court. But Look at this win predictor now,
Final set,
Josh.
Rybakina to serve.
It's been a few swings, there's no doubt about it.
50-50.
We'll just check in with Laura, see what her win predictor looks like in a minute. Laura, who are you going for and why?
I mean, firstly, surely the win predictor's not allowed to sit on the fence. The whole point of the win
Just did.
predictor is to predict a win. Honestly, I'm with the win predictor.
No, come on,
I'm
Laura.
50-50
Get off the fence.
right now.
You're going to sit on the fence as well. Oh, no.
30 love.
The biggest difference for me in that second set, obviously the winners off Sabalenka's rackets were outrageous, but she just had better feel. Under pressure, she was able to dig out a couple of those third shots where the ball came really deep, and she's just reading and anticipating a lot better than Rybakina at the moment. But this is where it's going to get really stressful for both players, and I kind of think with Rybakina serving first to start this third set makes a bit of a difference. I think pressure-wise it takes a bit off her shoulders. Let's see if that plays a part.
$40-15.
Junior girls winner from today, Elena Rybakina, went the distance. It was a 3-hour, 15-minute battle.
$40-30. Game.
All right. An impressive opening game in this final
Rybakina.
set. 1-love.
First game, final set.
Well, it was a big shift in that second set from Sabalenka, just changing up tactically on the first serve placement. This was set 1, Chandra, and it was very much down the tee, but things changed.
Yeah, she started mixing it up, going out wide more. She went into the body to mix it up and kept Rybakina guessing. And on that ad side in particular, 45% of the time, that serve was the go-to. And she was able to open up the angles and just create a little more space after the serve. Really smart adjustments from Sabalenka.
15.
This one
15 love.
On song from this second set onwards. The rhythm, the ball toss, all working so well in sync tonight.
$30 love.
She made it. The very last moment, that ball seemed to drop right on the line. Again, the body serve just a little tighter, forcing Rybakina to have to move away, try to create some space on the swing.
Yeah. 40-15.
Impressive service game here from Sabalenka.
One game on.
Feeling confident. And Chanda, you suspect Rybakina must move out and cover that wide serve on that juice court.
And this is where the adjustments come in. Now, Rybakina has to adjust. Try to maybe change her position a little bit. Just give Sabalenka a little something different to look at. One of the doubles finalists in the crowd, Barbora Krejcikova. She likes watching tennis when she can at events.
Love 15.
Yeah.
On.
Dubrov, coach of Aryna Sabalenka.
Perfectly placed serve. She's been going up the tee. Some big moments that time. Taking a little off and getting better placement. There's times when Sabalenka is getting that ball back on Rybakina very quickly.
Huge point here. Where does she go with the first serve? I'm thinking the slider wide.
Create some open space. Didn't slide, but it was good enough. A little more straight and flat.
40-30.
Gave Rybakina something just a little shorter with the net cord.
Serving from Rybakina. She's holding on and leads 2-1 in this third set.
Rybakina leads by 2-1.
Chanda. It's been a roller coaster ride so far. We've seen a lot here from Stefano Vukov, coach of Rybakina. What do you make of it?
I mean, it's hard to tell what he is pointing at sometimes. You can tell when he wants her to think a little bit more beforehand, right? That's the signal. Coaches can coach now when the players on their side is usually when you can interact a little bit. Can't be too obtrusive.
Ladies and gentlemen, those rejoining us, please locate your seats as quickly as you can.
9:30 p.m. in the evening. Conditions getting a little heavier out here.
Thank you, ladies
Go
and
into the
gentlemen.
third set
Please
of
find
this
your seats.
women's singles final here at the Australian Open.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Players are waiting. Any seat you can find will do for now.
Not many left, that's the problem. And this is the luxury of serving first in a set, Chandy. You can have a bit of a free swing, you win that point. Definitely feel like you're a chance of breaking.
And that's what you were alluding to, Josh, that Rybakina needed to start getting on that wide serve. It's been a go-to of Sabalenka's from the second set. Connects beautifully with it.
I think surely you just force yourself to go heavy through the middle with that second serve return. That is such a key point. Could be love 30 so quickly there.
.30-15.
A bit of power from Sabalenka, a little more than Rybakina can handle. His last couple of returns.
Please. Let's for serve. Thank you.
Oh, that's going to look awesome, that backhand cross court. And just hitting with such power and grace at the moment.
It was so hard to read this too. Look at the shoulder rotation that she's getting on that, and she kind of waited half a second longer before deciding to go back cross court. Just see how relaxed she is in the arms.
Another comfortable service game for Sabalenka.
2 games on.
Can you pick a winner, ladies? Either way in this one, it's just, it's a...
Now it's too close to call.
Well, I think with Rybakina forcing herself to go forehand line there, she's clearly not feeling comfortable with the conditions at the moment, or rather how much pace she's getting off Sabalenka's racket.
And have you noticed that the court slowing down? Is it
Not
a little
yet.
slower?
Not yet. I think the difference when the new balls come in is the biggest difference. For me, the court speed hasn't changed significantly.
15.
I mean, they're both hitting it so hard that it probably makes it quite hard to tell anyway.
well done. That is not an easy shot. To get under that forehand when it's dropping that way.
30 left.
Rybakina also more comfortable going cross court, but that time just a little flick of the wrist, stayed loose below the net. Gets a big one to go in. That point was important. We have seen so few double faults from Rybakina over the course of the match.
Yeah, first one.
First one. What a time. She's got a little breathing room here. But these are pressure moments.
Now.
Well, 30 all in the previous service game. She went for the wide serve. Surely it's coming again.
Pays the price for not making enough first serves. And once Sabalenka gets in control of these rallies, she's winning the bulk of them.
So you could see Rybakina again getting a little more height on that forehand, guiding it just slightly. And Sabalenka, she crushed it.
First break point of this third set. This time gets a first serve. 191 kilometers an hour. That's right up there.
Advantage.
A couple of fantastic serves there.
Is that fastest one of the match?
193. It's equal the fastest of her.
Just a little under. 195 is
Yeah, that's right.
the absolute fastest. She is right there.
How brave are those last 2 points?
Yeah, that's a disappointment for Rybakina. Did so well to shift that game with those two serves. See the agony on her face, missing that forehand.
This must feel difficult for both players. It's so hard to win. You get so close.
I mean, they're making it look so easy, that huge serve, but even this backhand from Rybakina at this moment in a match, that is a lot tougher than it looks to keep swinging out freely.
Fold.
And the ball striking is just superb.
It felt like she was going to catch herself out there twice. She could have taken the ball out of the air, gone for the drive volley. Makes me nervous when people start letting those ones bounce.
Oh. That's a serve we haven't seen Rybakina use that often tonight, is the big body serve.
Advantage Rybakina.
It's been a serve Rybakina has used throughout the tournament, pulling it out in an important moment to get another game point.
Oh, well done. Saves a break point, but the 22nd seed, Rybakina in front, 3-2, third set.
Rybakina leads by 3 games to 2.
Well, Chandra, I just get the feeling it's going to come down to 1 or 2 shots. It's so tight. Maybe a little bit of brilliance on serve, or whether someone can take a bit of a chance on return.
I mean, this has been a terrific match, high quality. You see the shifting that both players are having to do, the adjustments Sabalenka made in that second set. Rybakina battling to hold on to her serve and really stay with that slight lead and the advantage of serving first.
Yeah, that's where I definitely think if you're team Rybakina, you would probably just go out, take a few chances on return, especially if you get a few second serves.
Time.
It's a gorgeous evening here in Melbourne. Just around 20 degrees, and that crowd outside are watching it on the big screen. Fortunately, the crowd inside here
ladies and gentlemen.
get to enjoy it.
Players are ready.
And these 2 young ladies are putting on a show. 3-2 on serve, third set.
Love 15.
Oh, just serving beautifully. Sabalenka, 75% of first serves in this third set. It's the rhythm, Chandra. It just looks like she's just throwing that ball up with such confidence that she can hit it to any part of that service box.
And that's the rhythm you tie into as a match gets tighter, as the pressure builds. That allows a player to regulate their serves.
40-15.
Serve is a rhythm shot, and that's why players practice it so much. And Sabalenka did a lot of good work, make little adjustments to get this kind of a routine.
15th ace already.
Fold.
Game, Sabalenka, new balls please.
Quick service game, spins the pressure back on Rybakina here.
Well, you think having
3 games off.
saved those break points in the previous game and then winning the first point of that last game, that Rybakina was going to start to amp things up, and then Sabalenka just shuts the door so quickly on the serve. Unbelievable.
What a terrific display of women's tennis, and so fitting that we have this women's final going the distance. Have the original 9. It's been celebrated and in the stadium, watching on. And the decisions they made in 1970 that have helped usher us into today's tennis. It is quite remarkable.
Winner of this one collects just under $3 million prize money.
And it is equal prize money for men and women. And that has been a big step forward.
Love.
Well, the support staff, the coaches, they go through so much in the players' box as well. It's a big investment. It's not part-time, it's full-time. You give your whole life, you travel 30, 40 weeks a year.
30-15.
As we take a look at the forehand heaviness there. Both players well above the average, especially Sabalenka, up around 7.5. We've seen her there most of this tournament. That's the power and the spin measurement.
When Sabalenka winds up that way on a forehand, you've almost got to guess, and there is no chance to catch up to that shot if you don't have a head start. But she held it just long enough, Sabalenka did.
Again, it's Sabalenka with the chances.
30-40.
Just can't find enough first serves at the moment. Rybakina.
Led first serve.
We've seen it time and time again from Rybakina, the ability to deliver a first serve when needed.
I'm honestly shaking my head down here in disbelief at how big that was. And the previous point from Sabalenka, you've got someone who's almost hit 45 winners, struggling to stay in the match. Having to hit that well to win points here. Got another breakpoint chance, but this is just phenomenal tennis. It's everything we wanted out of this final.
Rybakina, she's had to change her patterns a bit. Going up the tee there, has gone out wide a lot, especially in that first set. Both players having to adjust in little ways out there tonight.
I've just been so impressed with the mentality of both players. Under extreme pressure, so much at stake. Just handled the occasion so well. the night.
Oh, Laura, did that get you clapping?
Use.
That's about the 5th point in a row that I've been clapping. Can't help myself. This is so good.
Advantage, Sabalenka.
Well, third break point now for Sabalenka. One feels, how long can Rybakina hold on?
She has been under tremendous pressure time and time again here on serve. Can she come up from another break point?
Gets it. And finally it's Sabalenka with the first break in this decider. 4-3, third set.
Sabalenka leads by 4 games to 3.
I mean, a couple of these overheads from Sabalenka, that letting it bounce instead of taking it as a swing volley, and then hitting the overhead so confidently. Ball looked like it might not come up high enough, and she just went for it. That was a brave shot, and it paid off.
There's been so many times tonight where I think we've all felt that she could have taken it out of the air, but this one's so difficult under the lights to get underneath it, and still managing to go for the high percentage slider overhead. I mean, so good under pressure. This is an interesting game here to see how Sabalenka comes out on her own serve.
Can Sabalenka hold her nerve here, keep swinging as freely as she has been doing for a set and a half now?
Please return back to your seats. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
It's Aryna Sabalenka on the cusp here. Has played so well all year in Australia. She won in Adelaide, the lead-in event. And she's just 2 games away.
Not much she could do about that return.
Love 15.
We thought it couldn't get any better.
Well, Rybakina, she read it, took a little bit of an angle at that shot, and met it with equal force.
Out. 15 off.
Fold.
And I'm down here with a couple of other courtside commentators, and there's a stat floating about that these ladies are hitting it 7 miles per hour faster than Tsitsipas off the ground.
Fold. Out.
$40-15.
That's the first ball we've seen Sabalenka really overhit in quite a while. Definitely stands out there. Well beyond the baseline. Trying to settle herself down just a bit here.
Fold.
Two forehand winner returns in this game from Rybakina, and that will get the heart rate up right now for Sabalenka.
First signs of just a little tension creeping into Sabalenka's game. The missed forehand that was well beyond the baseline, and then that puff serve in the middle of the box. Can she regroup here?
That serve has just worked. Such a treat on the big points tonight.
Advantage, Sabalenka.
And the fact is, there is going to be tension. This is a big moment for any player trying to win a major title. It's how you handle it. That is what matters.
She wanted a cheap point. Sabalenka went big, 175 kilometers an hour.
She's gotten a few misses from Rybakina off of those big serves. That time, though, Rybakina just a little more intensity on that return.
Again, such accuracy, Laura.
Well, so good because Rybakina is down the end of
Advantage,
her coach,
Sabalenka.
and she's been looking over. He's clearly been giving some advice on where to go with the return position, and then Sabalenka just shuts it down, goes tee.
Game.
Sends a rocket out wide. Aryna Sabalenka just one game away from lifting the trophy. It's a good lead, 5-3, third set.
Sabalenka leads by 5 games to 3.
So brave to come through that one. As Chanda was saying, the first couple of signs of tension, the forehand, and then a few errors where she went from 40-15 back to deuce. I'm just unbelievably impressed with Sabalenka's mentality tonight, how she's handled the tough moments.
Thank you. Left.
This will be another real test for Rybakina serving to stay in this match. She's taking a little extra time at the back of the court.
On.
Fold.
He's so desperate, Sabalenka, to try and break to win. That way you don't have to sit down.
30-15.
That set change would feel long. You get a minute between the end of games.
Well, Rybakina was pushing the depth in that point, and Sabalenka desperate to keep up, try to push back.
This has been a great service game, serving to stay alive in the tournament.
(40-30).
Incredible shot making from Elena Rybakina. Still in it, but it's Sabalenka with the lead, 5-4, third set.
Sabalenka leads by 5 games to 4.
Chandra, I can only imagine the thoughts going through Aryna Sabalenka's mind right now.
This will surely test the belief of Sabalenka. She has believed in her game under every possible circumstance, except in this kind of moment. Third set, serving for her first major title. This will be the true test for Aryna Sabalenka. Rybakina has held up beautifully. Wimbledon champion, playing like she believes. Can she turn things around here? A lot at stake in this next game.
If I'm this nervous, I can't imagine how Sabalenka's feeling.
Aryna Sabalenka coming out for the biggest service game of her life. 4 points away from lifting the Daphne Ackhurst Memorial Cup. Can she do it?
(15 left). (15 on).
The tension builds for everybody. Can keep swinging out as freely. That is the challenge.
Vote.
Please.
15:30.
15:30. All.
Vote. Vote.
Use. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Advantage.
Well, it's a good response, and it brings up championship point number 2.
Sabalenka.
Vote. Now.
It's always the hardest point to win.
Use.
Vote.
Advantage, Rybakina.
Oh, that's so clutch. Would have desperately wanted to serve like that on one of the 2 match points.
Hey, better late than never. I mean, how is Sabalenka handling these points? Mine has got to be racing, slowing it down just enough to come up with that serve.
Vote.
And will it be 3rd time lucky here for Aryna Sabalenka? third championship point.
Advantage, Sabalenka. Thank you.
Sport does cruel things to the mind, and the self-belief that you require to win the biggest points of them all.
Use.
This time just taking the little bit of extra time going to the towel.
Advantage, Sabalenka.
Match point number 4.
Set match, Sabalenka.
Aryna Sabalenka
2 sets to 1.
is the Australian Open champ
6-4
for 2023. She's waited a long time. She has been so close. She's been to number 2 in the world. How sweet this victory must feel.
And it's not just a victory for Sabalenka, it's a victory for her entire team. That have helped her get to this stage, and how sweet it is. Hand of applause for Elena Rybakina. She played incredible tennis, pushed Sabalenka to the limits, and that is what sport is all about, and that is the epitome of tennis at its best. Waited so long for this major title. She's been one of the best players not to have won a major for number of years, and she stayed the course. She stayed at the top of the game, turned things around towards the end of last year, and just never know when you're going to have that breakthrough.
She's been firmly entrenched in the top 10 really for the best part of the last 5 years. Burst onto the scene, promised a lot, and has got close, but it's, I think tonight what impressed me the most, Chanda, was the serve under pressure. how she has gone away after the troubles, the struggles with it last year, and the response under pressure it held up.
That's been the biggest turnaround in Sabalenka's game. Little adjustments she made on serve, her belief in that shot as a result of it, and it came through in big moments tonight under pressure. She hit the ball bigger from the ground, more consistently, particularly in that second and third set, and she really earned this win. Rybakina did not do anything wrong.
No, absolutely. I agree 100%, Shannon. Played beautifully all night long. Well, it's been a wonderful night so far here at Melbourne Park. Ashleigh Barty in the house. She was the champion last year, and what a match we have seen from both of these talented young ladies. It has taken Aryna Sabalenka to play the match of her life, to be crowned the Australian Open champ here in 2023. And boy, oh boy, did she deliver under pressure tonight. Well, it was a wonderful opening set from Rybakina. Had break point early, first game. In that second set, didn't get it done. And then Sabalenka just found a way back into the match, and the serve got going, Chanda.
This was just a high-quality match all the way around. And sometimes that's tough to get when you have two players that hit the ball so big. You get more unforced errors because there's more risk, but this match tonight gave us everything we could have hoped for and then some. So impressive the way Sabalenka managed the double faults, 5 in that first set, and then just cleaned it up and willed herself over the finish line. But it was the consistent play, the consistently powerful play throughout this match that got it done for her. She was hitting the ball bigger at times, and it was a marvel to behold. We've said over and over that Sabalenka hits big and bigger, but she's shown the ability to adjust, to make changes when she needed to, give herself a little more margin, but still hit out freely, and it was a lethal combination.
Iga Świątek is the #1 player in the world. And this young lady, Aryna Sabalenka, hot on her heels, and I just wonder whether, now that she's got 1 Grand Slam under the belt, does that open the floodgates? Does she go on to win more?
That's certainly got to help. Her belief and ability to relax in other situations when she gets the chance. I mean, she got to her first final and then immediately jumped over the next hurdle here in Australia. So good signs for the year to come, and the future continues to be bright.
No doubt about it. Just such a thrilling women's final here. Anton Dubov. Well, as a coach, you invest so much time and effort, and it's a roller coaster ride at times, but these highs are so hard to achieve.
Sabalenka projected to move to #2 by reaching the final. I don't know, does she push a little closer with this win? How close to Iga Świątek? It's just always fantastic to see when a player steps up and wins, steps up and meets the moment, and does it in front of one of the largest stadiums in tennis.
I mean, look at that crowd. All right, players just about set now for the prize-giving ceremony with Todd Woodbridge.
Womenjuka, Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, the traditional owners of the land on which we gather tonight, and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I extend that respect to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people here this evening. Well, tonight we've seen two of the powerhouses of the women's game put on an incredible final. I'm sure you'll all agree. And for those lucky enough to be here in Rod Laver Arena this evening, or perhaps those watching around the world on television, I'm sure that you'll agree also that this Australian Open has produced some amazing tennis and incredible storylines every single day of the championships. But before we present the trophies, I would like to acknowledge His Excellency General the Honourable David Hurley, the Governor-General of Australia, the Honourable Anthony Albanese, Prime Minister, and Her Excellency the Honourable Linda Dessau, the Governor of Victoria, all here with us this evening. Also joining us for the presentation are the Chair of Tennis Australia, Jane Herdlicker, the Tournament Director, Craig Tiley, Tournament Referee, Wayne McEwen. And it's my great pleasure, yes, round of applause, thank you. Well done, team. And it also gives me great pleasure to introduce a champion of our sport. She is a 12-time Grand Slam singles champion. She won the singles here in 1968. Would you please put your hands together for Billie Jean King. Well, a very famous trophy, the Daphne Akhurst Memorial Cup, which goes to our winner tonight, has been travelling around Victoria over several weeks with our AO on the road team, and is now, I'm pleased to say, safely back here on Rod Laver Arena. And here comes Daphne. It's a magnificent piece of silverware. I'm sure that you all are going to agree with that. But it's now time for me to introduce and invite the Chair of Tennis Australia, Jane Herdlicker, up to say a few words. Jane.
What a fitting finish to an absolutely spectacular 3 weeks of women's tennis at the Australian Open in 2023. What a great finish, fighting finish. It was a match that highlights how exciting women's tennis really is. Elena and Aryna, truly remarkable tennis tonight. We're so proud of you. We know how hard you've worked to get to here tonight. Your level of achievement is just absolutely impressive, and we're all inspired by what sits behind you and how you've performed tonight under extreme circumstances. Thank you very much. And it's a very memorable night for both of you because you played tonight in front of 7 of the original 9 brave women who decided that it just wasn't good enough 53 years ago and set out to start what ultimately became the Women's Tennis Association. And you truly stand on the shoulders of giants who laid the foundation that makes it possible today for all women to be given a fair shot in most sports, and for our sport to treat women with great respect and to be able to play in the very biggest events in our sport with equal prize money. So thank you to the original 9. again, just a spectacular night tonight. You were both great competitors. There could only be one winner, but it was a fight to the finish. So thank you for a great match tonight.
Thank you, Jane. If I could now invite the tournament referee, Wayne McEwen, to come up and present a gift to our chair umpire for this evening's final. That is Tom Sweeney. Well done, Tom. Tom is an Australian. We're very proud of the work that he does officiating around the world. Well, unfortunately, though, there can only be one champion. And although falling just one match short, it has still been a magnificent tournament for this young woman. Along the way to the final, she defeated 5 seeds, including the world #1. Please put your hands together for our finalist, Elena Rybakina.
First, I would like to congratulate Aryna, of course, with the title and with a great start of the season. Adelaide, and here I know how hard you've worked for that, and also your team, so congratulate, and yeah, just good luck in the rest of the season. Hopefully we're going to have many more battles. And of course, I want to say a big thank you to my team for the great job we done during preseason and just over the past 3-4 years. To my coach, big thanks, of course, to my family, sponsors, president of our Kazakhstan Federation is here, so thank you so much for the support. And one more person I need to thank, of course, for the great preseason. He's not here, but I'm sure he's watching, so thank you so much. And yeah, family, and just wanted to say a big thank you for this atmosphere. It was amazing, and I felt really good playing here, and I had just goosebumps, yeah, how to say it correct, when everybody were cheering for us and supporting. It was unbelievable, and yeah, I'm looking forward to come back next year. And the last thank you, of course, to organizers, everybody who made this tournament possible. Of course, Ball Kids, I know you are in a bigger team now, and it's much more of you, so thank you so much. Empires, of course, and all the volunteers. It was amazing 2 weeks for me, and yeah, hopefully next year I'm going to have same result and even better. Thank you.
Well, it took 4 attempts to make a major final, but there was no stopping her tonight, was there? In what has been a flawless summer down under, with a title in Adelaide, she can now proudly hold aloft the Daphne Akhurst Memorial Trophy, her first major title. The Australian Open Women's Singles Champion for 2023, Aryna Sabalenka.
First of all, I want to say sorry for my English because I'm still shaking and super nervous. Secondly, it's such an inspiration to receive a trophy from you. Thank you so much for everything you've done for our sport. I couldn't be more thankful. Thank you so much. I want to congratulate Elena for an incredible 2 weeks. You're such a great player, and of course we're going to have many more battles, hopefully in the finals of the Grand Slams. And I want to congratulate your team. You guys are amazing. You've done such. Oh my God, sorry. You've done such a good job. Congrats, guys. Thank you so much for everyone who made this tournament happen. Thank you so much, tournament director, referees, line umpires, ball kids, stringers, physios. I mean, thank you everyone who helped me during this week. And thank you so much, guys, for an amazing atmosphere. It was enjoyable to play in front of you. Thank you so much. And of course, my team, the craziest team on tour, I would say. You see? We've been through a lot of, I would say, downs last year. We worked so hard, and you guys deserve this trophy. It's more about you than about me. Thank you so much for everything you're doing for me. I love you guys. Thank you. Once again, thank you guys for an amazing atmosphere. I hope next year I come back stronger, and I'll show you even better tennis, and you guys support me even more. Thank you.
Well, congratulations again, Aryna. Well, that concludes our presentation. There'll be some photos taken. Aryna's going to do a lap of honor with Daphne, the trophy. But would you please give one more loud round of applause for what has been a magnificent singles final here tonight on Rod Laver Arena.
So almost disbelief for our 2023 Australian Open champ, Aryna Sabalenka, and so much goes into this Chander and the team, the emotional roller coaster. This is not just 2 weeks of work, this is a lifetime of work. Get the opportunity to lift that trophy, so special.
Yeah, it's about the sweat, sometimes the tears, sometimes the joy, the validation, and there's so many different stories. Players come into this event, 128 draw in the singles start out, and there's only one winner, and Aryna Sabalenka able to proudly hold this trophy high. She earned it. She's battled, came in last year struggling with her serve, found some rhythm, kept the faith throughout the year, got some breakthroughs, and the start to this season, it has been phenomenal. First major trophy, and you hope the first of many. One of the players that has always been a contender in the biggest events, and now she's got even more confidence.
Well, just has so much firepower in every department in her game. It's not just the serve, it's the ground strokes, and I just love the way that both of them spoke about playing in this arena in front of this incredible crowd, the atmosphere, and you can see from Rybakina, of course she's disappointed, but she knows she's played a great match.
I think that is the best you can hope for, win or lose, that you go out there, you play your best tennis, you put everything out there, you don't leave any doubts, that you competed to the fullest. And I think Elena Rybakina, she definitely has to feel that. She played a terrific match. Sabalenka was just a little bit better, and that is when it mattered most. But terrific match, and it's not always easy to appreciate the atmosphere, to appreciate the fans when you're struggling under pressure, trying to win, get a big title, but both players able to kind of enjoy it and soak it in. with everything else going on. A really special evening, and certainly one for Aryna Sabalenka.
Well, the world's media, all eyes on Aryna Sabalenka. There were some doubts whether she could get it done in the very biggest stages of these Grand Slam tournaments, but it's right here in Melbourne where the 5th seed has done it in style.
I always love this picture where the ball kids can come in, the ball persons can come in and get a picture. They work so hard, as both players mentioned, over the course of these 2 weeks, 3 weeks with the qualifying, and really tremendous moment for them to kind of bask a little bit.
Well, there's some incredible names. Ashleigh Barty, the champion last year. We thought it couldn't get much better, but that was such a thrilling women's final tonight. Get the feeling they'll be celebrating long and hard with that trophy tonight, Chanda.
And why not? This is so well earned. You mentioned it. This is the work of not just 2 weeks, but years of dedication, going through the ups and downs, getting back up after disappointments, learning from those losses, enjoying the wins. But this, for Sabalenka, is the biggest one of them all.
Soaking up every single second of this lap of honor.
Sometimes when you have to go through a little adversity, when it doesn't come quite as easily, you appreciate it that much more, motivates you that much more.
We'll take the trophy.
A few words with tournament director Craig Tiley.
This can come off, yeah.
She didn't want to let go of it. I understand.
The gentleman holding it with the gloves, it's hard to actually get a hand on that trophy. They're so protective of it. Didn't it? Took a few match points before she was able to get the job done. Done on her 4th match point. She's starting to doubt herself a little.
Double faulted on the first match point, and what a recovery from Sabalenka. Didn't let those demons come to play. Fighting, battling to get her hands on the championship trophy.
Please put your hands together once again for the 2023 Women's Singles Champion, Aryna Sabalenka. She makes her way off Rod Laver Arena. A tremendous victory, a tremendous match, a tremendous tournament. The plays don't go too far because...
Well, it's been a wonderful night here at Melbourne Park. A new champion has been crowned. Aryna Sabalenka had to do it the hard way. Dropped the opening set, but boy, oh boy, did she storm home and played the match of her life in the 2nd and 3rd sets. And it is Aryna Sabalenka who is the Australian Open 2023 Women's Champion.